Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Now today's video will be making this beautiful style you're seeing on the thumbnail. This is me rocking my own. If this is what you are interested in watching, kindly watch to the very end. And I say a very big thank you to all my subscribers, and for my returning subscribers, I love you all. Please try and turn on your notification bell in case I drop a new video. Like and share my videos for more. So let's dive into today's video. This is the Ankara that I'm using. I'm making use of 2.5 yards of Ankara and 1 yard of chantil net. You can make use of whatever net you want to use. Are you getting me? I use 1 yard of the net and 2.5 of Ankara. So to determine what to fold is your bust circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch. So this is my starting point. From the starting point, I measured my chest line. Please, you can ask your clients or whoever you are sewing for where they want the yoke to start from. But from my, I'm making use of the chest line, which is 8 inches. The next thing to do is to measure my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Then I added half an inch to it for joining the sleeve. I came down by 1 inch at that point. The neckline I'm using is 3 inches. 3 inches in width and 1 inches for the back neckline. That's the depth. 1 inches depth, 3 inches in width. Then for the front, I make use of 3.5 for the depth of the front. Then I connected it to the 3 inches as you see me do in the video. So I'll be using the front to cut the back. So from that 1 inch, I connected it to the 3 inches this way. Then I connect my armhole. I measure down my armhole. So I connected my armhole this way. I measured out the bust measurement and I added 1 inches to it. Then I connected the armhole this way. So this is it. I added 1 inch at the down part also. I added 1 inch at the down part. I added half an inch at the shoulder also to join it to the back. So this is me cutting. I've cut out the neckline for the back. I'm using the front to cut the back. So this is my back. I measured out my half length, which is 15. I added half an inch at the down part, 15.5. So I'm starting from my starting point. At that point, you see me putting my tape. I measured half an inch inward and I connected it all the way up. This way prevents zipper as in the back. Are you getting me? Zipper bulging at the back. Fine, we are not using zip so that the lace would lie flat at the back. So from that part, I measure 1.5. I'm using 1.5. You can make use of 1 inch, but for mine, I make use of 1.5. So I'm measuring 1.5 all the way to the top, and I connected it with a straight row. So after doing this, the next thing is to place the front on it. We are using the front to cut the back. So I've placed my front on it this way. I'm going to follow what I have on the front to cut out the back. Note the back is 15 inches. Measure your half waist. Are you getting me? Your half length, measure it out. So whatever you have, add half an inch to it at the down part. So see me, I've cut the neckline for the back and I've cut out the armhole. So the next thing to do is to measure the waist for the back. So from our, what's it called? From our zipper allowance, I measured out my waist, which is 30 divided by 4 is 7.5, and I added 1 inch for sewing. 1 inch for sewing allowance, so that I trim it out as you see me do in the video. So this is it. The back is also ready. So the next thing to do is to cut out the neckline for the front. So I've cut out the neckline for the front also. Please note the front is on fold, is folded, while the back is the one that has an opening part. So the next thing to do is to move on to the down part. I've cut the Ankara, I've cut it into two. You know, I told you I make use of 2.5. So I've divided it into two, one for the back and one for the front. So the next thing you do is to place, we are cutting the front first. Place your 8 inches or whatever inches you use, place it the same way you see me do and measure the length of your gown. Place your 8 inches at the top like this, or whatever inches you use, and measure the length of your gown. And you see me. So the length I'm working with is 39 plus 1.5 inches, half inches for joining the upper part and 1 inches to join to the down part, to end the down part. So I've done the same thing to the back. I measure 15 inches. I place my tape the same way you see me that I did the front. I place 15 inches and I measure the remaining length. So this is the next thing to do is to start joining. So from that neckline, I came down by half an inch. I came down by half an inch and I start my measuring of 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches all the way down. 1.5 inches. So that 1.5 inches I'm measuring will serve as where I'll be placing my loops. That's where I'll be placing my loops. So I have 9 loops at that point. If you want more than that, you can use 1 inches. Are you getting me? But for mine, I make use of 9 button, cover button I mean. So the next thing is to cut out my loop. So I have this remaining fabric and I'm going to use 1.5 for the width. I'm making use of 1.5 for the width. So and I connected it with a straight line this way. So this is it. I've cut it out. The next thing you do is to fold half an inch inward at both sides, half an inch that way, half an inch this way, then you place it on each other and sew it down. And you see, you sew it all the way down. That's your loops. So I've gone ahead to sew my loops and I've placed them on it. Please, you place them on that 1.5 inches line. That your zipper allowance line, that's where you'll be placing it. So let me quickly show you what I did here. After sewing the loops, you just place it this way. Can you see on that line? Please place it this way, place it that way and sew in by half an inch. So that's what I did. I'm placing it on the right side of the net. I'm placing it on the right side of the net. So after sewing it, you turn the allowance inside. Can you see? You place the allowance inside. This is it. I've ironed it down. So I'll be folding in by half an inch. I'll fold it in by half an inch. I'm folding it in at the wrong side, please. This is the wrong side that you are seeing. The loop should be facing the right side. So I'll be sewing it down this way, all the way to the waist. So I'll be doing the same thing to the other side also. The zipper allowance, that 1.5 I added, I'll be flipping it inward this way to the wrong side. And I'll sew in by half an inch all the way down. So after sewing, you place it on each other this way and you sew top stitch on it at the waist part. you lay it on each other that way and you sew it by half an inch. So the next thing to do is to notch the center of the down part for the back and start pleating till you pleat all the Ankara till it fits into your waist, and you do the same thing to the other side. Then you do the same thing to the front also. You notch the center for the front also, then the center of the Ankara for the front also. Then you place the notched part on each other this way, right side facing each other, and you start pleating till it fits into the net. So after doing that, this is mine. I've pleated mine. So this is what I have. This is the front. Can you see it's looking pretty already? So I've done the front and I've done the back also. So the next thing is to attach your cover button at the other side there. So I have my cover button. So the next thing I'm doing now is to place the front and back together, right side facing each other, and sew by half an inch that we added at the shoulder. Then you place it this way to close the side. Please, if you are adding belt to it so that it will be snatched, you measure your waist at the back. Whatever you have as your waist measurement, you divide it by 2. Measure whatever you have at one side and the other at one side. That's how you'll be placing your belt. I don't know how I misplaced this part, please just bear with me. So the next thing is to close the sides. I'll be closing the side and I will end the down part. I want to add this trimmings to it so that it will give it a little, to beautify it a little bit. So this is optional. If you don't have that, you can just sew your dress that way. But for mine, I want to add this trimmings to it. So I've gone ahead to to sew the shoulder, the side, and hem the down part. So the next thing now is to cut the piping or a bias. You can make use of bias at this point, but for mine, I'll be using this leftover net I have. I'll be cutting it in a bias form to pipe the neck. So I've cut the sleeve also, and I've attached my trimmings to it. Please, if you are interested in how I cut this sleeve, you can drop a comment on the comment section. So this is it. My gown is ready. If you find this video helpful at this point, kindly give this video a thumbs up, like and share my videos, and please kindly turn on your notification bell in case I drop a new video. You'll be the first to be notified. Thank you. And you see, the dress is beautiful. See you in my next video. Bye.